Hey, welcome into the round two NWGA football pick'em show, man. We have 15 teams left in the second round, about 30% of our total teams. Some great games on tap tomorrow for sure.
Absolutely. We got a little bit of everything as far as the classifications go currently. Hopefully, we can keep that going.
Yeah, I see Benton turning pages in his notebook over there, man. He's ready. He's got his notes. He is. Look at that.
I got to turn back. I was on my college page. I noticed, the dogs moved up to four. Back to high school.
What's going on, man? How's it going down there? Yeah, if you guys want to have your comments live on the air, we can hide this right here and join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We'll get your comments and predictions live on the air. We'll run through these 15 games and
Yeah.
give you our best take.
Yep. Let's jump in them.
Here's our buddy Al Smith, man. Everybody give Al Smith a call. Alpha Insurance.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. It seems like a month ago these guys played. 3-week layoff for Christian Heritage. They get to head down to Savannah Christian in the second round. Savannah Christian is a 27-point favorite.
And that's interesting because this is a 9-8 matchup. You got Christian Heritage setting at 7-3. The Raiders, which has the skull and crossbones on their helmet, is pretty cool. Are 6-4. I think this kind of indicative of the tough region that Savannah Christian played in. Scoring a lot of points. Both teams score a lot of points. Give up some points actually as well. 27 points is a lot. I think it just comes down to how athletic I think Savannah Christian is and being at home. I think they're going to win this game against Christian Heritage, but I think it could be less than the 27.
Yeah, a tough drive. I mean, you're looking at 3.5 hour, 4 hour bus drive down to Savannah Christian. You got a freshman quarterback at Christian Heritage.
Which is pretty good now. Don't get me wrong.
Pretty good.
He can move the ball.
I just worry about Christian Heritage size, maybe matching up with Savannah Christian down there. I like Savannah Christian. I think it's within the 27. We got one over here. Savannah Christian 27-14. I can ride with that.
Yeah, be very interesting.
6A matchup. Harrison at Carrollton. Carrollton is a 26-point favorite.
Two pretty big squads here. The Hoyas are 10-1 coming in versus obviously the undefeated Carrollton team. I don't think they've even played anybody very close all year. Harrison's one loss, if I remember correctly, was to a very good McEachern team. They've won all the other games. They dominated Paulding County a few weeks back. They beat Marietta last week by 7. This is a different beast here. I think Carrollton wins this game. Now, I think it may be closer early, but I think Carrollton pulls away to about a 21-point victory.
Yeah, I saw where Carrollton has scored 50 plus in 3 straight games, and get some pretty good competition. Man, the offense is rolling all year. Very balanced offense. Throw the ball, run the ball. Great defense. The only thing you have to worry about Carrollton this week is will they look past Harrison at all? Huge matchup next week. If Grayson and Carrollton both win, I mean, it's going to be rocking in Carrollton next Friday night.
Yeah, I think we might know where we'll be next Friday if we're available.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to take Carrollton, man. I think they cover the 26. I think they win big. $35-7.
Okay.
Villarica pulled the upset of the week last week at Northgate. Is that who they beat? Northview? North somebody? They get to go to Thomas County Central, man, the number 1 ranked team in 5A right now. 35-point underdogs.
Thomas County Central has scored nearly 600 points this year, en route to an 11-0 record so far. Counted up, that's a lot of points a game. That's averaging over 50, almost 54 points a game. Villarica, like you said, had the upset last week, sitting there at 65. This is a horse of a different breed here. This is like the Clydesdale of the horses. I think Thomas County Central might shock them a little. Um, it's going to be 35 is a lot of points, but it would not surprise me if it's close to that. I'm going to take Thomas County Central, by 4 scores.
Yeah. We saw Thomas County Central last year at Barron Stadium. Pretty much the same team. I think they brought everybody back from last year's team, and they were impressive last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Going to Thomas County Central, tough place to play. I saw on Facebook this week they have one of the best home crowds in high school football in Georgia. Place will be rocking. Long bus ride. Shout out to Villarica, man, for making it to the second round. I think it ends here at Thomas County Central. Huge game tomorrow night at Barron Stadium. A game that Benton and I are planning on being at. Houston County at Rome. Rome is a 4-point favorite.
Man, when you look at up and down the lineup here, man, Houston County has some dudes. Rome has some dudes. They're big, they're fast, they're physical. This is going to be, I think this is going to be a heck of a ball game. This could shape up to be one of the best games that we have on our slate here in this area. Just so happens to be pretty close to us here in Rome. I'm excited to go see it tomorrow. Hopefully the rain holds off so it won't be any impact on the game. But, I'm not sure who it would favor if it did rain. Probably nobody. Probably just be a
even wash. Yeah.
So I'm going to take Rome in this one. I think Rome is going to win a close one, and it would not be. I would not be surprised if Houston County come up and got the win. But I'm going to take Rome at home. I think the crowd's going to be big. They'll be loud. It's not going to be extremely cold. Hopefully, the rain will get out of here, and that'll help it be a little louder and a little bit bigger crowd. I'll take Rome by a score.
Yeah. What time you think about getting down there tomorrow, man? We'll invite some people to come eat with us. We're going to be down in town.
Well, I've got a couple gentlemen that I'm going to go with. So I don't know where we're going to eat at, but you name it, and we'll come on down there. I think I'm going to meet at their house at around 4:30. So we'll be headed toward Rome after that. Probably take us 30, 45 minutes or so. So.
Yeah, check our Twitter page tomorrow, man. We'll be downtown somewhere, eating before the game. If you want to stop by and say hey, man, we'll be down there. I'm excited, man. I'm probably gonna show up at Barron Stadium at 8 o'clock in the morning, man. Be waiting for the game to start.
We could go to. We could go anywhere, but yeah, we'll put it on our socials once we decide where we're going to be, and stop by and see us. And don't forget, we have our stuff on sale. You got you, and it's just to help all the kids in Northwest Georgia area. We're going to continue to drive this train in their direction, to try to get them out there.
Trust me, man. We accept all fired football coaches.
Absolutely invited.
The more the merrier. Fired football coaches, future fired football coaches, everybody show up, man. We'll eat some hot wings, drink a non-alcoholic beer, and head to the game.
O'Doul's.
Yeah. Drink O'Doul's.
All righty.
Man, like I said, excited about this game, man. I think Rome wins in a close one. Tons of talent on both sides, you said. I can't wait, man. Warner Robins at Cartersville. Cartersville, a big 21-point favorite.
Yeah, I think this could be a good ball game as well, but I think Cartersville has enough to pull away eventually in the end. I think you'll look up. You might see this as a game in the third quarter because Warner Robins not a terrible team. Pretty good region down there. Uh, I mean, I just think that Cartersville, the entirety is going to be a little too much. Defense is pretty good. They can score points. I just think Cartersville pulls away and Cartersville wins this one by a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, man, I think Cartersville's an elite team this year. I saw a stat this week. They put a post on, super impressive. They had 87 kids playing their first round game last week. How many teams can say they put 87 kids on the field in the first round of the playoffs, especially a 4A school? Loaded. Um, I don't think they played more than one full game all season. I like the Canes here, man. I think the Canes win. I think they win big.
I got you. Well, we're getting all kind of comments
Yeah,
coming in here.
17-14, man. He's predicting Cartersville. Here's Jay. Jay says, well, that's not Jay. That's the Fire Football guys. Jay said, TCCH is on a mission, and I believe it, man. They're on a mission. Cambridge at Central. Central is a 4-point favorite.
Central, took one kind of on the chin early. They got punched a little bit early last week, and were able to overcome and come back. I noticed, it seemed like around halftime they were still down and they were battling back. And once they got back ahead, they kind of pulled away a little bit. You don't want to do that this week against a Cambridge team that can move the ball through the air, on the ground, electric playmakers. You want to stay with them or ahead of them because this Cambridge team is dangerous. I kind of went back and forth on this one. I honestly, in the pick 'em, I don't even remember who I picked. It might have been Cambridge. I think there's possibility for some wet weather, so I'm going to go with the more running team. I'm going to go with Central in a barn burner. I think it's going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you were down in Cedartown with me last year when we saw Cedartown and Cambridge. Were you there?
Yes, I was.
See, Cedartown had that big lead going into the fourth quarter,
and it evaporated.
It evaporated, man. I still have PTSD from that. My heart is for Central, but I think I took Cambridge also in the pick 'em. Like I said, I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag out, 4-quarter game. Down to the last possession. You can't start slow. I mean, you kind of mentioned you can't start slow against Cambridge, or you're gonna find yourself in a hole.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're digging out of a hole against that type of weapons.
Cheering for Central, picking Cambridge. How about that?
Gotcha.
Cass, man, our first ever home playoff win last week, heading down to Benedictine, 23-point underdogs.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, their first home playoff game last week in 42 years, and then they got their first home playoff win last week as well. Now they're headed down to face the daunting task of Benedictine, which, I mean, let's face it, they've moved up in classifications recently because they've had some pretty dominant teams. I don't know. I think Benedictine is favored for a reason. I think Cass has got a pretty good squad. I think they're going to run into a little bit of a roadblock here. I think Benedictine wins this one by 17 or so.
Yeah, everybody talks Creekside and Cartersville in 4A, man. I've seen a lot of the experts this week think Benedictine may be the number one team in 4A. Having to go to their place. Yeah, I think Benedictine wins, but I think Cass keeps it close. Douglas County, not Douglas County, Douglas of Atlanta, coming to Calhoun. Calhoun is a 8-point favorite.
It seems like we've seen this Calhoun-Douglas matchup a good bit recently. Kind of familiar with each other. These teams have played similar records. Douglas is 8-3, Calhoun's 9-2. We've mentioned how both teams have done. Calhoun seems to have the better offensive numbers. Calhoun was able to beat Lumpkin last week. Held one of the state's leading rushers down pretty good until late in the game. Um, I like Calhoun to win this game. I think it's going to be a pretty close game within 10 points, but give me Calhoun to win at the Reeve.
Yeah, our guy Scott, man, he compound stats for every school in Georgia during the year. Puts out some pretty good information. Douglas has a top 20 scoring defense in the state. I think they're giving up 10 points a game. Um, I like Calhoun in this one. I think Calhoun wins by more than 8, but I think it's a low scoring game. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
20, 21-7, 28-14.
I got you. Um, just in comparison, I mean, I know we don't see a lot of comparisons, but last week this Douglas team hosted uh, Gilmer and was able to beat Gilmer 19-15.
Yeah,
So that gives me
yeah, in a game where Gilmer was leading 15-13, I think late with
yeah.
just a couple minutes left. So I don't
Um,
remember what Calhoun beat Gilmer by, but I think it was what 30 something to nothing.
I can tell you in just 2 clicks. Let's see. The Calhoun Gilmer final was 49-22.
49-22.
Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely take Calhoun in this one.
Sumter County, 8-point favorites at North Murray.
Oh boy. North Murray's offense has been carrying them. Defense playing pretty good. This Sumter County team coming in here, favored by how many did we say?
8.
8. This is the 8-9 matchup. Actually, North Murray is the lower seed coming in. Both teams are 10-1. Looking at their averages here, uh, Sumter scored almost 500 points this year, averaging 45 points a game. Of course, North Murray is averaging 32, 33. Sumter County has only given up 67 points through 11 games. So I look for them to try to bottle up North Murray's rushing attack and keep this game within reach. And I think Sumter is going to be good enough to, unfortunately, go to North Murray and pull out a victory. I'll take Sumter County in a close one.
Yeah. Sumter is athletic in the skill positions, big up front. I think their only loss on the year was what 8-7 to Carver Columbus, the number 1 ranked team in 2A. Um, and I saw on Facebook today where they're actually in town tonight. They actually came up a day early. I don't know if they're staying in Dalton or somewhere, but I think they're ready to go, man. I think if North Murray pulls the upset here, they're going to need some turnovers. They're going to have to put the ball in the air for sure. I don't think the ground game is going to 100% get it done for them tomorrow night, but you never know, man. With Northwest Georgia Player of the Year, Hudson Hewlett.
Yep.
I like Sumter in this one. Cheering for North Murray, picking Sumter. Laney at Rockmart. Rockmart is a 13-point favorite.
There's been multiple people on this podcast already asked if we have talked about this game, and we have not. And now we're getting to it. It is a 18 seed versus a 2 seed, if I'm not mistaken. Laney was able to beat Lakeview Port Overthorpe last week 48-29. Of course, Rockmart beat South Atlanta 50-20. I think Rockmart's too good in this one. I think at home, Rockmart will win this game by a couple touchdowns. I would say at least.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, man. Teams that were starting to peak heading into the playoffs. Rockmart seems like they're just rolling on all cylinders right now.
Mhm.
At home, I'm going with the Yellow Jackets. I think they'll win by more than 13. Social Circle at Heard County. Heard County, huge win first round. 19-point favorites, round 2.
Yeah, Like you said, Heard County with the big 49-0 win over East Lawrence last week. Social Circle with a stopped 2-point conversion attempt by Haralson County and beat Haralson 34-33 last week. I'm pretty sure that Haralson and Heard have a little history this year. Heard County coming out on top. Social Circle obviously wins last week. So does Heard County, but I like Heard County to win this one. The spread is 19, and I think we're looking somewhere around that. I think it'll be somewhere around a 3-score game. I think Herd's just got too much.
Yeah, I like Herd in this one. I think Herd gets it done early. I like Herd by 19 plus. Elbert County at Gordon Lee. Gordon Lee is a 6-point favorite.
Yeah, this is one of those when you pull up the win loss record, you see that Elbert County is below 500, and you kind of question, can they hang with a 10-1 Gordon Lee, and then you start to pull up their schedule and seeing some of the teams they played early in the year, like Lincoln County, Westland, which was a 1-point loss, Stevens County, which was a 4-point loss, Hart County, which is a pretty good team. Um, lost to Rayburn by a score. I mean, they're playing some pretty good squads. And Gordon Lee, they played their region play and they've played some pretty good squads, but I don't think they've seen anybody that's going to be able to kind of match up with them athletically like Elbert. I believe that's why you see only a 6-point spread here. The big thing is it is at Gordon Lee, and Gordon Lee played pretty well last week. Pulled away. Went back and forth on this one, and I can't honestly remember what I picked here, but give me Gordon Lee in a close one at home, and it could be a low scoring game like that, but also it could be a higher scoring game because Gordon Lee can score with the best of them. I mean, they could put 40 up. Elbert's defense, has gave up some points this year, so I'll take Gordon Lee in a close one.
Yeah, I think this is a rematch of last year's first round matchup. I think Elbert County
Yep,
won that one by a couple of scores
they did.
at Gordon Lee. I think um, that might add a little fuel to the fire for Gordon Lee. I know the stadium tomorrow night is going to be packed out. Man, they're letting the first 100 students in free. One of the local businesses sponsored tickets for the students. It's going to be packed out and loud, man. It's going to be a great game. If you have any kind of nerve conditions or heart conditions, you might want to stay home because this one's going down to the wire. Um, I like Gordon Lee to get it done at home. Pepperell at Jasper County. Jasper County is an 8-point favorite.
Yeah, man, it's a tough game. Tough game to pick right here. Jasper last week getting the win over Gordon Central 44-13. Pepperell, beating Bremen for the second time this year last week. On the road, that kind of leans me toward Jasper. Jasper's won a lot of games this year. 10-1 is a pretty good competition. Pepperell may be the best. Uh, I'm pretty sure they're the best 7-4 team in this classification. Played some tough competition early, and that may get them through here. But I'm going to take Jasper in a close one. But I would not be surprised to see the Dragons make it to the third round.
Yeah, this is a great bracket, man, for Pepperell and Jasper County with Lamar County losing last week. Um, I mean, you have a decent chance to make the semifinals if you can get past Jasper County. I think you go to Raven probably is a predicted team
Correct.
next Friday night. I like the
By the way,
Dragons. Yeah, go ahead.
last week's upset was a 31 seed Berrien over a 2 seed Lamar County.
By a score of 7-0, right? Is that what?
7-0. Wow.
So, man, I like Pepperell. I know it's on the road. I like how the Dragons have been playing. They step up and play some defense this Friday night. I think they get it done. I'm going to take the Dragons in my upset pick of the week.
Okay. Okay.
Washington Wilkes, man, upset team in the first round. Knocked off somebody. I can't remember who. Early County. Was it Early or not Early? Because they're next. But
Yeah,
at Bowden, Bowden 35-point favorites.
they knocked off Seminole
Seminole.
County.
Hmm.
Seminole County. I've actually, even though Washington Wilkes is way on the other side of the state, I've actually been to a game at Washington Wilkes. I'm sure it's changed now, but they used to have wooden bleachers, and it was the cold. I'm talking about single digit temperatures. Um, Chattooga was in the playoffs. It might have been the first round. It was like a 35-7 or a 35-14 finish. Uh, they were pretty good back then. 8-3 this year going against Bowden. Bowden's too much. I mean, 35 is a lot. Um, they've proved me wrong before, but give me Bowden by about 21 or 24.
Yeah, I met a lot of these Washington Wilkes kids at prep red zone camp over the last couple of years. Man, they have a lot of guys that come up to Atlanta in the off season, come to these camps. Very athletic group. Um, I mean, anything's possible, man. But Bowden's a whole different team. Give me Bowden 35 plus
I think we've created some bulletin board material
somewhere, huh? Positive
somewhere.
of, positive of.
Somewhere.
Mount Zion, man, in the second round for the first time in 7 years, heading down to Early County. Early County is a 13-point favorite.
Yeah, Early County, pretty good team out of that region there. I've seen Mount Zion actually twice this year. Once, well, both actually on film, but multiple games. Same exact record as Early County. I think Early has a slight advantage in this game. Obviously, with Mount Zion having to travel down there, they're a two touchdown favorite. I'll take Early by a couple touchdowns in this one.
Yeah, I like Early in this one, man. But Mount Zion has a chance to pull this one off. A good quarterback play. A very young team, man, for the most part. I'm actually looking forward, excited about Mount Zion in 2026. I think
Yeah,
they're going to be a
I think it's going to be a pretty good game. The only thing I'm worried about, a kid by the name of Devonis Lee, senior, 5'10", about 190 pounds. He's rushed for a ton of yards this year, and somewhere around 1,500 with 21 touchdowns. He's coming. Can you stop him? That's gonna be it.
yeah. I'll tell you Early by a couple scores in this one. Um, Rod Brown wants to know what we think about Worth and Blakely in AD1. One of the best games, tons of good games this week, man, in AD1. Um,
Worth
I've seen
and Blakely.
I've seen a lot of the quote unquote experts. Think that Blakely is going to be the upset pick of the week, man. But I like Worth in this one.
I hadn't looked at that game, so I'm trying to locate it on here.
Yeah, and Toombs and Thomasville, another big game in AD1. Um, I think this is going to be another knockdown drag out, but you have to go with Toombs at home, man. Toombs is the odds-on favorite to win AD1. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if Thomasville beat them, but I have to go with Toombs.
Yeah, and I'd probably go with Worth in that other game too. It just seemed like they a slightly better team than Blakely at this moment.
Yeah, the other big game in AD1 that really is important to our area is Fitzgerald and Dublin. The winner gets Heard County.
Yeah.
That's going to be a knockdown drag out game.
Let's see. That will be if Hurd wins. That'll be at Hurd, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that is the positive thing, in my opinion, about the seeding 32 teams is the better team, the higher seeded team, is going to have the home field advantage, and as they should. You should not be, at this point, Dublin might have been a 1 seed, and Hurd would have been a 1 seed if they both win and go to next week. And then it would have been a flip of the coin, and that doesn't settle with me. with
No.
her being the number one overall seed and Dublin being the number 8 seed. Yeah, Fitzgerald could win this game, and it wouldn't have mattered. But um, I like the way they're doing it, and interested to see how it's going to be different. What differences there are. We'll get into that later on, I'm sure, in the off season between how they're doing it this year and what they're going to do next year.
What's up, Jacob? Down there in Thomas County Central, man.
There he is.
I'm hoping you guys. I'm hoping you guys get a close game at some point, man. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe all the stars will align and Villarica will come out and give you guys a battle for 4 quarters.
Oh, I thought you meant close as in proximity. I was like, I don't think so. Maybe in the dome.
Speaking of dome, that's our background there, man. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah,
I can work us in. Hold on. There you go. That's what all these high school teams are chasing the trip. We went and seen a couple of them last year, Calhoun and Carrollton. I seen the ending of that Calhoun game and watched the Carrollton game, and then went to work the next morning. That was genius.
Yeah, we'll go back over this right quick. Thoughts on Rome and Houston County, man? Shootout. It's gonna be a 4 quarter shootout. Tons of athletes on the field. Um,
Both teams, I think, are going to require a 4 quarter game. If not, the other team is going to be capable of scoring points and getting out to a lead. And you do not want, at this point in the playoffs, you do not want to spot anybody points, because it's going to be very hard to come back on any of these teams because the defenses are so good. You're eliminating so many teams now that there's just not a lot of bad teams left, quote unquote bad teams.
yeah, Rome had that problem the first 2 games of the season, man. I think they got it ironed out since then. Jumped out on Creekside, 28-0, and then held Carrollton to 0 points through 2.5 quarters. And
Yeah, it seems like the last month or so, Rome has been playing complete games. We talked about that more. They've kind of played 4 quarter games more often than not lately. So we got an Early County Bobcat in the house.
about them Bobcats, man. Let's go Early County. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough trip for Mount Zion down there.
Yeah, man, some of these matchups are just so good. I mean, there's going to be an upset. There's going to be an upset in most of the brackets. It just depends on who's it going to be. Man, the winner of this Houston, I was just looking at it, the winner of this Houston County Rome game that we talked about will face the winner of Jackson County and Milton. I mean, we're talking about studs.
That
I
5A.
would love nothing. I would love nothing else but to go watch Thomas County Central and Rome in the dome. That'd be good.
Yeah, that 5A bracket is studs, man. All 16 teams solid. Now you got solid games up and down that bracket right now.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, man. Like I said, this is a rumor, something I saw on Twitter.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, but I saw that Milton had a bunch of kids out tomorrow with the flu, man. I don't know how that's going to affect them versus Jackson County. But I mean, I'm not cheering against Jackson County, but I would love to see Milton come to Barron Stadium next Friday night.
Yeah, Milton sitting at 8-3, Jackson County 10-1. You'd have to look and see who all they played. Jackson County scoring a ton of points, man, nearly 50 a game. Let's look at Jackson County. I'm not familiar with Jackson County. Where is that at?
Commerce.
Yeah, Jefferson, Georgia is what it says.
Yeah. Over in that Commerce area, man. They've been playing football for 40-something years, and I think they won their first playoff game.
I know their only one loss this year was to a Jefferson team, which is always pretty good, 10-3. Yeah, they won last week, 50-7 over the Glen Academy. Something tells me they have some player studs. Yeah, senior quarterback thrown for nearly 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns with only 3 interceptions. Also, sophomore running back Maxwell with 1,600 yards and 24 touchdowns. And another running back, another sophomore running back. You're going to hear from them a lot. Lee, 654 yards and 13 touchdowns, 42 rushing touchdowns. I don't know. You might not see that Milton team you're talking about. We might be going to see this Jackson County team.
Quick thoughts on TCC and Villarica and Lee County Hughes. I think TCC gets it done. I mean,
yeah. Unfortunately, I don't see how. It would have to be a turnover-ridden game. I mean, no fault to Villarica. I mean, they played well and they made it into the second round, but I don't see Villarica beating Thomas County Central. Now that Lee County and Hughes, I really hadn't dove into that one. Have you dove into that game?
I haven't dove in it much, but just based on last week's games, I'm gonna take Lee County here in the upset. I know. East Paulding was within 3 points of Langston Hughes late in the fourth quarter last week at Langston Hughes. Maybe they were saving everything for Lee County, but yeah, Lee's tough, man. I'm gonna take Lee in the upset.
I don't know about that, brother. I'm gonna have to steal the line from a famous guy on game day. Not so fast. I think this Lee County team is good. I'm going down their schedule to see who all they've played. They've beat this Warner Robins team that we're going to see. They, only a 14-point loss to Thomas County Central. That's pretty. That's probably one of their closer games they played. They lost to this Houston County team that's coming to Rome by one score. It looks like. I don't know. It could happen. It could happen. I would go with Langston Hughes in a close one though, and I may be wrong, but
we got a lot of Houston County fans in here tonight, man. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out there at Barron Stadium tomorrow night, man. I hope it's packed on both sides, loud. If it starts to rain, you can just put your umbrellas up.
Yeah, man. I got me a poncho. I just sit out in the rain. I don't care. It's just. As long as it ain't 20 degrees outside, rain don't bother me too much.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 70s again tomorrow, man. So
we'll be sweating.
Springtime weather, man.
Let's see here. Game time weather. Anyway, we'll look it up. We'll see what we'll look like tomorrow. Lee put up 500 yards on Houston County, but had too many penalties, Jacob Carrollton says.
Yeah, that's what Rome has to avoid tomorrow, too. That's going to be their Achilles if they have an Achilles tomorrow night.
Gotcha.
Rod says, Worth County is good, but I don't think they played any tough games. But Thomasville all year, 11-0. Blakely is 9-2. Probably played the toughest region with Northeast, Double, and Dodge. Yeah, that's going to be a heck of a game.
I concur. I think that region pretty darn good. I'm looking here at the forecast, see what the latest forecast is. Few showers, it says. 30% chance of showers tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be off and on kind of rain if it does rain at all. It's not going to be like a monsoon or anything, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect it too bad, like we said, or like he just said. It thinks it's going to be limited rain, spotty. Calhoun and Douglas. I think we both like Calhoun by a score or two.
Yeah, I think Douglas. I think Douglas has a strong defense, like we said, only giving up 10 points a game, so it'll be tough. But yeah, I like Calhoun by a couple of touchdowns.
This guy, he's issuing an invitation.
Carver Columbus, man, they want the jackets.
They want some of the jackets. Okay, well, you keep winning, you might get some of them. You never know. We'll see.
That would be a great semifinal game for sure, huh?
Yep. It would be awesome. All right, then, man.
All right.
We'll enjoy all these games. Get out tomorrow and watch a game. Like we said, we got 15 teams from our area. We started with, 37, 38? Anyway, somewhere in the high 30s in the playoffs. Hopefully, we'll have over half next week. Never know.
There's Charles. Chop,
At
chop,
the
man.
last minute, he gets a Heard County
Yeah.
chop in there.
Charles is probably sitting right outside the stadium right now, ready to go, man.
He's already got the tickets lined up. He's ready to start peeling them off.
Jacob says he needs somebody FaceTiming from the Rome game tomorrow, man. Maybe not FaceTime, but I'll have some updates for sure.
Oh yeah. He'll put some stuff on there.
I'm gonna sneak my camera in there. I'm gonna hide from GHSA.
No, he's not. He's just kidding. He's not gonna do that.
But yeah.
We're gonna have those comments stricken from the record.
We're gonna be out in town tomorrow, man, before the game, having supper. If you guys want to join us, man, we'll be here somewhere, man. You can check us out on Twitter. I'll put it up.
Regardless who's there, we're going to be there one of those days. So we'll see you at the Benz.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
We here at Northwest Georgia Football would like to thank you for watching. Please join us again soon.